Hey guys, how you going? I think I've finally got Quest 15. Sorry about the delay in videos, but basically I didn't want to put a video up if I hadn't beaten it myself. I don't know why. I was like, usually with the organization of 13 events, I'm happy to put up a full playthrough of me going through it, but I didn't want to waste anyone's time this time around because I figured I'd be experimenting quite a lot and talking with people on Discord, seeing their strategies and seeing if we can make a really good free-to-play strategy. Um, this took me a long time. Like I had this set up for a couple of days now and it just wasn't coming off, but I think I finally got it. As long as I don't screw up anything now, I should be okay. But we'll go through it in a second, but essentially I've got extra attack HPO without a SP saving skill. I'm copying that again with the copy medal, but again, if you have another HPO, you could just use it straight away. I'm using a Chip and Dale because it's really expensive for me. I'm using an extra attack Chip and Dale, which is giving me 8 gauges back. That's probably not necessary. If you have a KH2 Kyrie, you probably get away with using that. But when I was first making the build, I was like, oh no, I'll need a single target gauge restorer, so that's either Iago or Chip and Dale. And then I'm now kind of realizing later that I don't actually need that. KH2 Kyrie probably would have been okay, as long as you don't use her first turn. Okay, so I'm at +6/+6 right now. I've got 2 copies of Defense Boost 2 going, and this thing can't touch me. This rat now can't touch me, even if my Defense Boost 2s don't go off. From what I can tell, he's got 2 attacks. He's got the 1, 2, 3 hit attack that you just saw then, and he's also got a pullback and like charge move at you. That's the more dangerous one, because I believe at less defenses that one definitely can. They both can definitely kill you, but I'm pretty sure that one does more damage. So my strategy, we'll go over it again. I haven't actually cleared it yet, so I'm a little bit nervous that the game will crash or something before I get to actually clearing it. I'm using Naminé to copy Kari, and I'll explain why in a second. Basically, I don't have enough damage with an AoE medal to actually take out all the archers. So I had to rely on a friend medal that was AoE with a negative 60% ground skill to actually pull that off. And so I'm going with this friend Sora EX medal with attack boost 4 max. So the reason I'm using Naminé to copy my 0.2 Kari is because it's done. It is done. Okay, we can go through the setup now. But, whew, 7,000 likes. Yes, okay, it's finally done. 5,000 joules, please. Okay, the reason I'm using Naminé, I'll go over it now. Let's go over it back over it again. Come on. Of course, every time. This is what I have to put up with, by the way. Come on. Now let me turn the Wi-Fi off. Okay, Wi-Fi's off, so now it should be a lot quicker. Just give me my goddamn joules already. Okay, we're done. 5,000 joules. Beautiful. Okay, let's go over what I did. Hopefully this will help you guys out, and it's not the easiest strategy in the world, but you don't need too much for it. Again, I'm really not using that many resources. I'm just kind of going with... I was going with like, okay, do I have to spend resources here to try and beat this thing? And the answer was I kind of didn't. I'll show you what I did. So I was experimenting with this setup on both the Counterpoint and the Stroke of Midnight Keyblade. And the only reason I was doing that was because Naminé's in that slot there, and my Key Out Beginnings? Yeah, is in that slot there, which obviously corresponds to pretty much the same in both Keyblade setups. All I really wanted to do was use... Yeah, I'll show you what I was doing. I wanted to use Naminé to get off just that little bit extra damage with 0.2 Kyrie, and that way my KH3 Sora EX could take out all the rest. Because on my own... Let's see if I can just demonstrate it. I'm doing a really poor job of explaining this, but I've been like in RNG hell for the last, I don't know, a couple of hours, and it's finally happened for me, so I'm not ready to talk yet. Okay, so this is what I was doing every single time. This is why it took so long. I had to like over and over again run this. See, I'm realizing now that I don't really need Chip and Dale here. I could have KH2 Kyrie in that slot and just tap on the enemies, and then once the archers are dead, I don't really have to worry about cooldowns anymore. I can just use KH2 Kyrie freely, and that will also act as a buffer and debuffer as well. So I'm realizing this now that I've beaten it. Okay, let's see what happens if I don't use Namine there. So I'll use Kairi, who will do literally 0 damage to, well, literally 1 damage to a lot of the enemies. And with an attack boost for KH3 Sora will come in and just not be able to kill all of the archers. So I'm like, okay, I need to squeeze out some more damage somehow. Okay, what if I use Namine to copy my Kairi buffer? That's basically my thought process. Okay, so I did that, squeeze out a little bit more damage, and that way the archers were able to die in the first turn. So then we enter RNG hell, as I like to call it. Let's go through that. Okay, so as I demonstrated before, if you get up to +6/+6 with a HPO medal, you basically have enough. That happened a lot, by the way. I would tap the wrong goddamn enemy. That happened so often. That forced me to reset. I might as well reset now. Okay, so we've used Chippendale once. Let's use Chippendale again. Again, KH2 Kairi could definitely go in that spot instead of extra attack Chippendale. The only thing you want to do differently is just tap with KH2 Kairi in the first turn rather than obviously using a special attack, because it would trigger the archers. Okay, so you see obviously Namine did a hell of a lot more damage there than Kairi did on her own, because she's A, sitting in the right slot, and B, guilted. I don't think she has to be guilted, as long as she does like a bit over 1 bar of damage, maybe 1.5 to 2 bars of damage. If you're using the same friend medal that I am, which is a attack boost 4 max, fully guilted Sora EX with -60 ground, -60 defense. Okay, so I'm not going to use her special attack here as much as I would like to. I have to tap, or else it will trigger the archers. This Sora EX is a brilliant one because it's got -60 aerial and ground defense, so we can take out both that healing little bastard and 2 out of 3 of the archers. So the archer I missed out on was obviously the paralysis archer, and now we enter the absolute hell of RNG that I've been surrounded in for the last couple of days, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have as well. So you can see my current debuff situation. I've got 3 layers of PSM defense as well as 3 layers of general defense up, but I've also lost 2 PSM attack ups. PSM attack down, basically. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's that Arabian archer guy there, the wily knight archer. What am I saying? The guy from Agrabah. I'm pretty sure he's the one that causes the debuffs. So you need a lot of things to go right in this fight for you. Let's get rid of that alarm music. That's pretty annoying. He could potentially debuff you every single turn and wipe away all those defensive debuffs. If that happens for you, it's pretty much over. Okay, well, actually, first thing, you need a second chance to go off in your first turn. Obviously, that's only going to work once. You need those debuffs to last into turn 3, and every single turn that archer, that knight is alive, you need him to not dispel you. So that's going to be the bane of your existence if you're following my strategy here. You're going to be paralyzed for sure. Well, actually, not for sure, but a lot of the time. And it could potentially cause you to skip out on using your defensive buffs again. I've got really lucky that I've got him to go off twice, which is very, very nice for me. Oh, look at that. I haven't been paralyzed at all yet. So I'm still not skipping any turns, which is very nice. Cool. And that paralysis is worn off. I'm going to use Namine here. Namine sometimes crits on the second turn for whatever reason and takes out that archer. It hasn't this time, so I'm going to pop my Nova right now to take out the archer. Or else he would paralyze me again, and again, that's more RNG crap. I'm going to use Kairi here just for that one more debuff. The damage she does is obviously not much, but every debuff helps because now we have to take out that knight as quickly as possible. So again, the knight can debuff us every single turn, which is a real pain in the ass. At +6/+6, we're safe, but only if we don't get debuffed. And actually, with 3 enemies left, we need defense boost to trigger next turn. We also need to worry about the paralysis from that Jewel Blade guy there, because if he skips us applying defensive debuffs, we're at serious risk of dying. Serious risk. So you basically need the perfect run, the absolute most perfect run. So he's going to survive at least 1 more turn, potentially 2 more turns. Okay, so we got a lot of defense. Wow, that's amazing. That was literally the perfect turn. Am I gonna get this twice in a row? So there's nothing they can do to stop me applying my debuffs right now because I didn't get paralyzed. I'm not rocking any sort of paralysis resistance traits. You can just get lucky. Very, very rarely you can get lucky. Again, at this point, I could be using KH2 Kairi. It would be completely fine. I'd be I'd be getting back more gauges and also applying a debuff, so it would be superior right now. Let's fire off Nominate. Okay, this could be enough to take out that Knight right now with this Sora. So let's go, hopefully. Okay, cool, it only just died. I think it has lived for me before, but I should be completely impervious. Yeah, okay, crap. I was completely safe from damage until just now because I've missed out. I've missed out on 2 layers of defense, so I'm going to go into this next turn only at +4, which is really risky. Not just risky, but potentially fatal, because I don't think I can survive both of their attacks at only +4. So let's see what happens. So basically, yeah, this is what I and a lot of you guys will be have to be going through. Just running the same run over and over. Yeah, gone immediately. So that's the difference it makes. At +6, I survived comfortably. At +4, destroyed immediately. Saying that, Defense Boost 2 didn't trigger, but I would have had to have had like every single Defense Boost 2 trigger for it to have made any sort of a difference there. That was pretty much a perfect description though, because if I had survived that turn, and the paralysis hadn't caused me to skip the defense buffs again, the thing was pretty much over at that point. Like you guys saw, at +6, the rat can't do jack shit to you. Yeah, it was pretty much over at that point. So if you want to follow the strategy, yeah, just keep trying, and eventually it'll work for you. The only thing I have is a HPO with extra attack. I put a defense boost 2 on it. Again, I've got this Chip and Dale here, which I just slapped a defense boost 2 on. Not even thinking that I could have used Kairi. Let's pop her on. Okay, so there's a Kairi setup right there. The only reason I'm using Stroke of Midnight, again, is because my main damage, honestly, comes from my friend medal, first and foremost. That's pretty much where all my damage comes from. Naminé there gives me a decent bit of damage when she copies 0.2 Kairi. And I'm using the blue copy medal to copy HPO, which does a decent bit of damage. Again, I'm only ever using it on the rats, and it does a decent bit of damage. Obviously for me, I could use Counterpoint to do just about the same thing, but I figured, I'm pretty sure the Tricolor Keyblades have a higher friend multiplier slot than the single color ones. I could be basing that off completely nothing, but I'm fairly sure that's correct. And again, my Stroke of Midnight's a higher level, but I was using Counterpoint for quite a while and achieving just about the same results, so I only switched to Stroke of Midnight somewhat recently, and yeah, it seemed to work for me. Oh, right, and because the Chip and Dale was getting a 10% bonus there, being on a 1.1 slot. Again, not really too important. Okay, so what could you guys do if you don't have the stuff that I have? Again, Guilted Heishi Nominate is completely not necessary. She just worked for me because with that extra little bit of damage, it allowed me to take out the Paralysis Archer with 1 Nova Blast, and oh yeah, most importantly, the Poison and Sleep Archers with the KH3 Sora that I was borrowing. Let me show you which one I'm borrowing. Yeah, so fully maxed out, attack boost 4 max, and ground and enemy aerial defense. So the aerial enemy defense, I'm pretty sure allows me to kill the... Let's see if I can... Okay, one sec. Okay, I was looking for a KH3 Sora with just ground defense. We could go through what happens if the healer survives, that little floating healer. Basically, in the event of that, if it's pissing you off, what you could do is you could trigger its countdown yourself. Because you're using a single target attack, you could go at it and make it heal early so that when you do the damage... Yeah, let's just do it. Okay, he's all the way over there. Let's try and reach him. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So he's going to heal, but obviously it's not going to do literally anything. Let's tap. Ooh. Look at this little shitters running in front of the mouse. Wait. Gotcha, bitch. Alright. Now let's use Naminé. Pop. We're going to have to tap with Kairi again. There we go. And now let's use Sora. Alright, obviously it's going to kill the healer, but if the healer survived, it wouldn't be able to heal straight away, right? I think. I don't know. But basically, I think it'd be a better alternative. Anyway. Yeah, if you can't have a... Again, it's a pretty rare circumstance to have a KH3 Sora with -60 in both aerial and grounded defense. Okay, what else can I offer you in terms of advice? Yeah, mission number 1, take out the archers in 1 turn. That's honestly mission number 1. From that point onwards, just try and do everything you can to survive. Again, it took me a few days. Like, I would have loved to have had this video up way earlier, but it's literally taken me this much time to come up with this strategy and actually get it to run consistently. I can't believe now I'm getting all these defensive buffs that have lasted 2 turns when it just wasn't happening for me for days at a time. That freaking dispel would just happen over and over again. Anyway. Okay, so one last thing. If you do have an area of attack medal with negative 60 ground on it, that's able to do a lot of damage, whether that's like a copycat medal, whether that's, I don't know, some sort of like, Dark Riku or anything really powerful that has negative 60 defense, you've done all your testing and it's able to take out the archers in 1 turn. You could consider using a HPO with 0 cost as your friend medal, and that would help you out a lot, I'm pretty sure, because you need all the defensive buffs you can get. If the paralysis is going off and making you skip medals, if you can compensate with that by having way more than enough defense, again, at +6/+6, you survive comfortably. I'm not sure about +5. I think you survive, if a couple of defense boost 2s go off, you'll survive pretty handily. But obviously +6/+6, I was very, very comfortably surviving every enemy on the field. And again, if you can get up to like, I don't know how you do it, but like, let's say your copy medal here, or an additional HPO had another extra attack on it, and you could go HPO, 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 and then borrow friend medal with HPO, HPO, then you're at +6/+6 in turn 1, and all you really need is second chance to go off, and you're pretty much golden. Unfortunately, I only farmed 1 copy of HPO, and look at that guild. It was absolute trash. I didn't even get to farm the Winnie the Pooh medals, honestly. I got 1 copy of that, and for the life of me, I could not get enough copies of just the Pooh Bear medal to evolve a second copy of the rest. I've got like 3 or 4 of the rabbits and the tigers sitting there with like 3 dots ready to go, ready to be evolved, and I just didn't get enough Poohs to to friggin' evolve them. So that's my own fault for not farming him, basically. So I really hope you guys are able to do that. I don't know, if you didn't farm an extra attack HPO yourself, you could probably borrow one, like beg in your party for someone to share theirs with, special SP gauge 0 or 1, and that would definitely help you out a lot. This video's gone so long for just one quest, so this is really, I don't know, probably too much detail, but it's how I went through it, so hopefully it makes sense to you guys. Alright, let me know if this is helpful, and I'll try and get a video up for the rest of the quest as soon as I can. Sorry, I just had the massive mental block of like, you haven't done 15, you need to get 15 done, and then you can start giving people advice. Anyway, I'm rambling. See you later, guys. Talk to you soon. Oh yeah, friggin' banners. Don't pull for Sephiroth EX. Jesus Christ, have you seen the pull rates for that? We'll talk about that later. Alright, guys. Bye.